Williams is reportedly requesting to go to the Washington Commanders. What's up, everybody? This is the Chicago Sports Talk. Michael back at it again with another Chicago Bears video. And you might be asking, what does this have to do with the Bears? Because the topic that everyone will be discussing until a move happens is if the Bears were to do with the first overall pick. Do they trade back and take a generational haul, or do they take the quarterback that's projected to be the first overall pick, aka Caleb Williams? So this is coming from Adam Schefter, him being on the Pat McAfee show. He speculates that the Chicago, he said there's some beliefs around the NFL that the Bears will take Caleb Williams with the 2024 NFL draft with the number 1 overall pick. He said this, there are few issues with this. Number one, are the Bears going to be willing to move on from taking Caleb Williams, which I believe seems to be a widespread concern around the league, that Caleb Williams will be the number 1 pick. And if they are willing to move on from him, then you have like Drake May or Jaden Daniels enough, or Justin Fields. And he also said, but again, that's the feeling around the league seems to be that they will wind up trading Justin whatever or not they do, we'll see. But that seems to be the feeling. Also, Schefter noted that it's early in the process, but he doesn't think the Bears like Drake May or Daniels enough to move off of the first overall pick, that being if they were to move down just to take their quarterback. He also notes that Caleb Williams is not working with an agent, not like John Elway or Eli Manning did. And Schefter dropped a quote that is going to be mentioned a lot, saying that Caleb Williams is requesting to go to Washington. Wow. Caleb Williams wants to be a Washington Commander. And before people say he doesn't have a choice where he goes, y'all forgetting Eli Manning and John Elway did it back in the day. Eli Manning, I didn't know much about John Elway, but if y'all don't know the Eli Manning story, apparently Eli Manning didn't want to go to the Chargers. He wanted to go to the Giants. And the Chargers traded with the Giants back then. So why would Caleb Williams want to go to the Commanders over the Bears? Number one, the fan base really wants Justin Fields over Caleb Williams. Why would Caleb Williams want to go to a fan base that doesn't want him? That's number one. Number two, Caleb Williams wants to go in the best situation available, and people are like, oh, why is it not Chicago? The Commanders might be an easy option for him, is because he gets to reunite with his quarterback coach in USC, that being Cliff Kingsbury. That's also the reason why I believe why Schefter reported that Caleb Williams wants to requested to go to the Commanders. And number three, it's his hometown team. That's a place where he grew up in Washington, probably was a Commanders fan, and wants to play for the Commanders. Well, they were at the Redskins at the time. So take this with a grain of salt. And I already know what my comment section will be like Michael, he's not a free agent. He has no choice where to go. Y'all forgetting John Elway and Eli Manning did it. This is kind of similar to what C.J. Stroud did last year when they asked him, would you want to go to Chicago? And he said, no, that's Justin Fields' team. I want to go and start my own team. So Caleb Williams, going into this draft, has already made it well known that the team that he wants to go to, and if I'm the Bears, I give him his wish. What's the point? And I'll say this. I'll give this a question to the Caleb Williams cult that's poorly Chicago Bears fans. What's the point of drafting Caleb Williams if he doesn't want to play for y'all. Basically, you have him, and he probably wants to sit on the bench. And all you're doing is wasting money that you will be paying him on a rookie deal. So, he doesn't want to play. He doesn't have that's fine. We'll trade back with the Commanders. We'll see what deal we can get out of the Commanders. Hopefully a King's ransom, like some similar like we did with the Carolina Panthers. And Caleb, guess what? Commanders fans, Caleb Williams is all yours. He'll be y'all. But like I said, it has to come at a price that the Commanders fans will be willing to pay. And before you say, what source do I have? This source came from Adam Schefter. He says the rest of the league believes that they will draft Caleb Williams. That's the GM's belief that they will draft Caleb Williams. However, things could happen at the span change of time, which is why at the end it said that Caleb is requesting to go to the Commanders. So obviously, people want to say, "Oh, we don't hear it from Caleb Williams' mouth." If you don't hear it from the horse's mouth, it never happened. Or what's that saying back in that saying? If you don't hear it from the horse's mouth, it never happened. So you want to know why Caleb Williams is not going to come out and say that that I do want to go to the Commanders? Is because if he does that, the media is going to pound him into the ground. Like if this was right around, I believe 2006, 2004, which the Eli Manning draft, some Giants fan or somebody else remind me when that draft was. If it was back then, Caleb Williams would have already came out and said that he wants to play for the Commanders. Because back then, no one cared when Eli Manning did it. No one had a problem when John Elway did it. So why not? So the reason why Caleb's staying silent about it is because of the simple fact that, he's staying silent because he doesn't want to get criticized by the media. Back then, Caleb would have been allowed to do that. And Caleb should go to the Commanders. This fan base don't want him. This fan base doesn't. We don't need Caleb Williams. We will be successful with or without Caleb. That's the football goes on. And I don't want to hear that, oh, he's not a free agent. He has no control where he goes. Then what's the point? What's the point of drafting Caleb Williams? What's the point? So he could just he could just sit on the bench and paint his fingernails and wear a fancy coat on and fucking wear makeup. What's the point? Give him what he wants. He wants to go to Washington. He could take, like I said, if you don't want to play here, then take your ass somewhere else. You don't want, like I said, I want people that want to be a Chicago Bear. If Caleb doesn't want that, then guess what? He doesn't have to be the quarterback. Justin Fields is willing to play for the Bears. So, stick with Fields. Stick with Justin Fields. So, I know what I heard, and I already know what's going to be in my comment section. A bunch of Caleb Williams cult, which is fine. I expected now about saying how I'm wrong. Continue, and I know if and when Caleb fails on the Commanders or the Bears, y'all will be laughing at him, acting like you weren't praising this man. So anyways, that's all for today's video. Subscribe if you are new. As always, thanks for watching.